welcome to the show. Today we are talking to Megan Kendrick from MSC Mortgage. We are here downtown Sarasota in the offices of Michael Saunders. Hi Megan, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, my pleasure.
So today we're going to have a little bit of a conversation about the mortgage industry and what you've found over the years. How long have you been a mortgage officer, a lender, in this area?
So I've been in the business for a total of 24 years. I started when I was 12. Just kidding. I wasn't that.
Is that legal?
24 years and 14 of that in the Sarasota, Bradenton area. So
oh, okay.
A long time.
Yeah, so you've been through all the good times, the bad times. So speaking of good times and bad times, particularly in the real estate industry, how have you felt that we've changed since, the big recession?
Yeah, it's funny because I always say I'm either the smartest person for hanging in there or the stupidest for hanging in there. But at this point, I'm like, it's worked out well for me, the long game. I think the biggest thing is clients are really, seems their perception of how the process is going to be has really been a challenge, because we went from them feeling like, I don't even understand why you're asking me for income. Why do you need that? I didn't have to give that before. To now we needed at a time, when all the regulation came into place, where it was they wanted everything but a hair follicle, a blood sample, and so forth. So people come in now expecting it to be brutal. And I can say in the past year, primarily because of technology, we still have to document everything, but the way we go about documenting everything, a lot of it the consumer doesn't have to bring us a tangible document. A lot of it is digital, so it is much easier
on an encrypted connection.
So we use data to data port, so it's not even on the internet, emailed, anything like that. So it's much safer, and it's actually much easier on the client. So today's day and age, we're so used to buying stuff on Prime. You push a button, you have it. I mean, I ordered something the other day, it came the same day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
So not everything, but that item did.
But speaking of same day, Megan has a portal online that you can fill in an application. Assuming they're not the unusual buyer that's got 15 different companies, if it's a straightforward buyer, you can process that loan application pretty much that same day?
Yes, yeah. So, it depends, and absolutely. Sometimes if people's information is pretty straightforward, we can do it within maybe even an hour. Where we try to do a little bit more due diligence is if people own multiple businesses, multiple homes, sometimes our goal is to really make sure that we're not pre-approving you to go out and look at a property when you're going to get in contract and then something says, oh, well, we didn't ask that question, so you can't qualify.
And I'd say that's the biggest difference. I've referred many buyers to Megan, and a lot of loan officers or companies take the call from the buyer, take it at the buyer's word that they've got X amount of income, X amount of assets, and so on. And then when you're further down the line, you put in an offer on a house, that pre-qualification, when they actually start digging, isn't necessarily what the buyer told. And you go that extra mile, right?
Especially nowadays, a lot of the people that we work with maybe have a property elsewhere that they're selling. I find a lot of loan officers or companies will assume that the house that they have elsewhere is going to be sold. So I don't assume that. I try not to assume anything. If I have questions after they've done the online portal, I often just pick up the phone and call them and say, explain to me the timing of this, because some of the things that can go wrong is just assuming a timing of things. And a lot of times nowadays people don't, the timing of a buy and a sell can be pretty complicated. And oftentimes they can buy something before they've sold the other property. But we need to make sure we pre-approve them that way, so that then when they're making an offer, one of the conditions of their approval isn't show me that you sold your home that maybe they haven't even listed yet. Right,
exactly. And from a real estate agent point of view, that's important that the buyer is confident going forward, putting in that offer on the house, knowing that they have the funds, so that we stand and talk to the agent on the other side, or if we're talking to the seller directly, we can give them that confidence that you've done your due diligence on the behalf of the lender, and that the buyer is qualified to buy. So talk to me a little bit about MSC Mortgage, what they have to offer, how they separate, or how you feel they're separated from you know, all the other lenders out there? What other things do they offer?
Well, like I said, I've been in the business 24 years, so I've had my share of places that I've hung my hat. And I feel that this is by far the best I've ever had. What's different about it is we are backed by the second largest bank in the mortgage lending bank in the nation called Loan Depot.
Okay.
So we have the ability to have a huge lender behind us, but we're still very small in the MSC division, so we can really create a personalized, customized, you know, high-level service.
Right.
What Loan Depot brings to the table is they have the incredible technology. I mean, they've invested oodles amount of money to have the tools and the resources to keep everything safe and a fluid transaction that's not that difficult for the buyer. So to me, that means we have the best of both worlds. In addition to that, one of the biggest features is we waive all lender fees for the buyers that we work with. So yeah, so even if you went to Loan Depot directly, they would have maybe a loan processing fee and underwriting. You know, I think every market's a little bit different, and every lender and every bank charges those fees, and that's outside of points. And so by coming to us, you know, our rates are very competitive, our service is top notch, and of course they're gonna have the benefit of waiving fees, which I would say in our marketplace is anywhere to $950 to probably $1,700 in savings from the get-go.
And that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's real money.
When I'm out with buyers on new construction particularly, and the rep there is explaining to the buyers, you know, well, if you sign with our finance company and close, we'll offer you this incentive. But when we, you know, like 5,000 credit towards your closing costs or something like that, when it actually comes to the closing, you see all these fees, and basically not only does it, you know, include that 5,000 that you think you're getting back, where in fact you're being charged it, it can sometimes cost more. And I've always encouraged buyers to just apples to apples, you know, let's just compare. And then if you want to go with that other lender, that's fine, you know, but you like to see what that apples to apples, because, you know,
and a lot of times we've had the benefit of doing that. And even if the client doesn't end up coming with us, they stay with the builder's lender, we'll be real honest with them and say they're giving you a good deal, or is not what it appears to be.
Right.
So I think it is one of the last pieces, in my opinion, of all the regulation that's been done. I think things have gotten much more clearer for the consumer, but not necessarily when it comes to new construction. So I think it's always beneficial to just get a second look at it. You know, and we have been able to save people a tremendous amount of money, or they might take the quote that I give them back to the builder's mortgage person, and they might match it, which again is a win.
Useful,
You know, I really believe that serving people, everything comes back around. So if I don't get that transaction, that's fine. I've still helped somebody, and in the end, that's a win.
Exactly. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. Hopefully we've given some useful information. I will link below Megan's contact details. If you want to reach out to her, feel free. I'll also put the mortgage application link if you want to move forward with a mortgage. You know where I am. My website, relocatesarasota.com, or janeebry@michaelsaunders.com. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.